Hi you guys, it's Ruby from Oofy Scraps, and I am back with a new project to share with you guys. So I am still working away at my December daily, but I also wanted to mix in another project. So this is a road trip that my mom and I took together in September of 2022. So I created this Cinch album, and I actually started this Cinch album on the road trip. So there's a little bit of the project that's already done, sort of the foundation, and I've put the entire book itself together. But now I'm going through and finishing all the documenting and, getting it all wrapped up. So my mom's birthday is in September, and we took this road trip kind of in honor of her birthday, I guess. We love road trips. She has a tiny little motorhome that we like to ride around in. So we went to a couple different places, and I just wanted to document the whole thing. And I have a couple different travel collections that I was excited to use, mostly Ali Edwards, and then a couple different paper pads. And then I think I have a simple stories like ephemera pack and sticker book. But anyways, the first page was just like the away we go page. So I've included a couple of digital elements on the photos, and then the next layout, we're already on the next layout. This goes pretty quickly. It's like a 6x8-ish size Cinch album. So the spread on the left is already completed. We first went to the Grand Canyon, and we stayed in a little RV park. And then in the morning, we woke up and took this little train to the Grand Canyon. So it was a really fun way of getting there. It kind of made the journey as exciting as the destination, I suppose. So on the left, I included a couple of Polaroids that I had printed while I was on the trip. And again, I already documented those on the trip. And then the photos on the right are a photo of us. We were standing in the back of the train, like looking out. And then there's a little photo of our feet. So before we left, we went and got new shoes. And so it was just a photo of us in our little new walking shoes. So I thought that was a funny little part of the story. But on the train ride there, we met this older couple who they were like in their 70s or 80s, and they had just gotten married. So I think that they were both widows, I'm pretty sure. And they got remarried, and they were on their honeymoon, which was an adorable story to hear. They were super funny. It was Donna was the woman's name, and I can't remember the man's name, but they were really funny. Donna especially was like hilarious. So we got to talk to her a bunch, and it made the trip even more exciting. So then we finally made it to the actual Grand Canyon. I had this photo. It's kind of like a panoramic sort of photo, and I put Grand AF on the photo with like digital words using Canva. And I'm just going to go ahead and embellish this page now. So I had never been to the Grand Canyon before. My mom had been, I think, before, but I had not. And I don't know what I was expecting. It was definitely very grand. It was a huge canyon, like so massive it didn't really look real. But we didn't go hiking. It sort of seemed like if you're going to go hiking, you had to fully commit, and it was like a gnarly, like days-long adventure, or you just stopped and looked. And while it was really spectacular looking, I feel like, I don't know if this is bad to say, but I kind of feel like it was underwhelming. Like the view was insane, it was massive, but then that was kind of it. So I don't know what I was expecting, but I was a little underwhelmed. I don't know. I guess it's sort of a thing where it's like you only need to go once, but I could be completely wrong if the experience of going into the Grand Canyon was better. But it was hot. It was super hot. So I was not disappointed that we weren't venturing into the canyon itself. So we walked around, and like beside, like all along the canyon, there's like little shops and restaurants. We ate at a restaurant that was not very good. It was supposed to be good, but it wasn't very good. So it was just interesting. But anyways, I'm going ahead and adding, these are some stamps from Ali Edwards travel collection from 2022. It says here, there, everywhere, I think. Yeah, and I'm just going to go ahead and stick my photo down right underneath that. On the right, I used like a smaller 3x8 insert, and again, I worked on that while we were on the trip. It just has some photos, some selfies of my mom and I, and there's some more on the back that I think I already adhered down. And then I had these cute vellum tags from the vellum tag kit, again from Ellie Edwards 2022 travel collection. And then I just took a piece of patterned paper and created another little tag, and I wanted them to like dangle down. So I stick some baker's twine in through the little holes. I punch a hole in the one that I created myself, and then I stick some baker's twine through it, and I'll kind of like rope it around behind the page. So all the papers I'm working with are single-sided. So when I'm done working on the layouts, I will go ahead and adhere the two papers back to back so it appears as if they're like one piece of paper. That's one thing that I don't like about Cinch albums, is it's hard to find double-sided paper that I want to use. Like, I wish every collection had a double-sided and single-sided option. But for this situation, it's kind of nice because I'm able to like staple right through and it doesn't affect what's going on the other side. So it was hanging and I liked it, but I felt like it was moving a little more than I wanted. So I think I ultimately tape down the pattern paper tag and then I leave the vellum one to hang. But yeah, I went ahead and stapled the baker's twine down, and then I'm just using some washi tape to extra adhere it. And then I think I go ahead and adhere down that gold and white polka dot. Yeah, I think I did adhere it down. I also cut so much out of this video. It was an hour of footage and about 30 minutes once I sped it up, and it's down to like under 18 minutes now. So I cut a bunch of stuff out, and you can see still there's some dead air. I didn't really go into this with much of a plan. The next video I have more stuff, like ideas of things I might want to use laid out. So hopefully it'll be a little more smooth and cohesive, I guess. But it is the reality of working in a scrapbook. I just find that when I'm recording, I don't want to have an hour of footage to go through. It takes cutting down. It makes it like a long process. But anyways, now I'm going through and adding a couple little stickers from that Simple Stories. I don't know what the collection is called, but it's like a travel collection. I really like this paper pack. They are thin. They're not even really cardstock. They're like paper stickers, and they're matte, which I normally am not a huge fan of, but I think with the color tones, it's kind of like earth toned, it works for this. And I really like the different like icons and stuff. So I added a little backpack and then this little like map situation. And then that bird sticker on the top is again from Ellie Edwards. So now you can see the other side. There's some more photos of us. My mom taking a selfie. We always make fun of her because she always takes selfies, but it's honestly pretty adorable. And then the other one is of me in front of the Grand Canyon. Those are both Polaroids. And again, I worked on that while I was on the trip because I had my Instax Polaroid printer. So I just used that. Now on this spread, I have a patch that I included from the Grand Canyon. And then on the way home, again on the train, we met back up with Donna and her husband, our little train friends. And there was like this whole cowboy thing that was like the running theme on the train. We missed the before the train theatrics where there was like a shootout and whatever. But on the way home, we looked at our windows and there was some wild cowboys who wanted to come hijack the train. So we saw them riding, and then the train stopped and the cowboys came on board and like, you know, hustled everyone for their money. It was kind of funny. The cowboys were a little annoying. Some of them were better than others, but a couple of them were pretty annoying. But it was funny. It was definitely like fun for the kids, I guess. And it was cool that they like literally were riding in on horses. Like there was no way they drove. They definitely rode in on horses. And they definitely smelt like they were on horses all day. So that was interesting. But it was really fun. The train was really cool. If you're going to the Grand Canyon, I would definitely recommend it. There was like snacks served on the train they were fine. There was just a lot of people, so it's kind of gross that there was like everyone was fishing through the snacks. But it was fun, and you didn't have to pay. Like when you drive into the Grand Canyon, you have to pay per vehicle, so you didn't have to do that. But obviously, you had to pay the cost of the train, which is probably more expensive. So anyways, it was a fun it made it like more of an adventure, more of a day, where just like driving up there, seeing the sights and turning back might have been less exciting. But yeah, now I'm adding these two little 2x2 photos, and then I had this piece of like a cut apart sheet that had a train on it. So I was like, when else am I going to use this? So I included that. And then I have a little sticker from that Simple Story sticker book, and I'm just adding a tiny bit of journaling about how cowboys overtook our train. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the Grand Canyon section of the trip, I'm pretty sure. And then we just get back on the road and go to our next destination. But it was a fun little start, and it was, getting on the road again. We definitely had traveled a ton on the road. I've done a ton of road trips. But every time you go, the beginning of the trip, it's kind of like getting back in the swing of being on the road. And like, we're lucky, we have a motorhome. It's very comfortable, but it's still a bit of an adjustment to get everything back together. You saw I considered attaching some pom-pom trim onto this little half page, but I decided not to because it was going to really bulk up the center of the album, and I didn't really want to do that. So it's definitely already bowing a little bit, the album. It's not bad at all, but it's definitely already kind of sticking up a bit. So I end up just attaching those two back to back and trimming down the excess, and now we are back on the road again. So our next destination was Zion, I'm pretty sure. But what I had realized is we were close to Horseshoe Bend, which is in Arizona, I think. It's bad that I don't know these things. But I was like, Mom, we should go. And she's like, no, it's out of the way. And I was like, no, it's literally not out of the way. It's right on the way. And I'd seen Horseshoe Bend in pictures like 1,000 times. And my mom was like, didn't even know what it was. So she was like, why are we going to stop for this random thing? But we ended up going. So we were on the road again. We were near a ton of Native American reservations. Sorry, my voice is like a little gone. But we were near a Native American reservation. So along our drive, we stopped at a bunch of different little posts and saw all the different art pieces they were selling and chatted with the artisans, which was pretty cool to see. And I don't even know if I mentioned this, but my mom's 2 German Shepherd dogs came with us, Tonga and Tiva. So Tiva's on the left, Tonga's on the right. And they have both done their fair share of road tripping as well in the past. But they are really big dogs, so it was definitely, navigating the small space of the motorhome with them. But we did make some stops here and there, so we stopped in this like random pullout and let them go to the bathroom, run around, stretch their legs a little bit, which was, nice for them. They were excited. And I got a photo of the motorhome, which I think is cute because we obviously take photos of like where we're going and stuff, but I wanted to include the motorhome itself in the pictures because that's obviously a huge part of the story. So I found a couple of plastic frames from Ali Edwards. I bought these frames a ton of times, and it says "Let's Roam." I don't think I'd hear those down. I don't know if I'd hear them down during the video or not, but I end up adhering it onto that photo of the motorhome. And on the right is just a really beautiful photo of us. We were carving through some, warm reddish toned stone rock, little like mountainy space. And so I got a cool photo of that. And then I included these black fabric phrase strips or phrase tags, I guess. They're like little pennant flags. And I think it just says like open roads and blue skies or something. So I included that. And I added a little bit of journaling about how we were going to our next destination. And I did a couple of clusters. A lot of that stuff on the bottom is from Ali Edwards. The top stuff is mostly Simple Stories, besides the black fabric pennant thingy, like I said. But yeah, I like the way this turned out. I've definitely had to keep it simple because it's a small amount of space, but I like that, my photos are really pretty. I'm really excited about the photos I got. So I wanted to let those shine and just add a little bit of embellishment so it didn't just look like they were just slapped down without very much thought. So I really like this page on the right. I think it turned out really well. So yeah. Oh, and then I went ahead and used these little alphas and I wrote pit stop because it was a little pit stop for the dogs. And I think that turned out pretty cute. So yeah, I really enjoyed the sights we were able to see on this trip. And in the next video, I include stuff about Horseshoe Bend, not Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon will be in the 3rd video. I think it will be total of 3 videos in this series. It's a little bit quick and just something a bit different, which I thought was fun. I am still very much working on December Daily, like I said, and I'm still really enjoying it, but I know that it's like February, mid-February, and people are probably like ready to see something else. I'm going to keep posting my December daily videos because I'm going to keep working on it. But I just wanted to add a little something else. And I also think that like when you work on a project for too long, you can get burnt out. So it's nice to have a little bit of a break. And this is a lot more simple to put together than December daily is because it's a smaller surface, sort of a lower stakes project. I don't know. And I think that travel memory keeping is my favorite form of memory keeping. So it's like easier for me for some reason. I don't know. Now I'm trying to pick a couple of different embellishments. I have this little token from Tim Holtz that says Wander, I think. And I end up adding that on. And then I don't think I use that little rainbow fabric badge thing. I use it later on in the album, but not in this portion. And then I think I add another little circle sticker. Yeah, something like that to the page. And I go ahead right now and take my paper piercer and poke a hole through the little tag and through the paper or through the photo, but I end up doing something different. I don't even know if it's in this video because I was like, what the heck am I going to do? But I end up poking just a little bit of, not poking, threading that blue baker's twine through and doing just like a little overhand loop, just like what I would do with a tag. So I don't know why I poked a hole. I don't know what I was planning on doing, but I don't think you'll see it in the video, but I end up doing that. So in the next video, I will do a flip through of where we've gotten through so far, and you'll see it then. But that is pretty much everything I do in this little video. You guys will see a flip through of what we worked on today. And next video, like I said, we will be moving on to Horseshoe Bend. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you're excited for this little mini series. Let me know if you've been to any of these places. What do you think about the Grand Canyon? Have you seen Horseshoe Bend? Etc. But yeah, so you guys can just go ahead and have a little look at what we accomplished today. I will go back and add journaling off camera, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.